If you are a coach or course creator who is dying to get into the game of launching, but you feel completely overwhelmed by all the tasks and it just feels like this huge project that you'll never get done, then this video is for you. So I am Coach Katie Collins with the Launch Squad, and we work with coaches and course creators, and we help you craft your irresistible offer. We help you determine what lead magnet would bring the right people into your event, and we help you launch it. I specialize in helping with sales and strategy, and my business partner specializes in helping you with technology. So we put together this launch timeline, and it just lets you know for the three segments of launching, which is the plan phase, the build phase, and then the launch it phase. There are several steps within each phase, and I'm going to share with you what those steps are and some of the milestones that you can celebrate along the way. Because let's face it, launching is a tough game. It's a long game. Whenever someone asks me, well, how long is this going to take, I always ask back, how long do you plan on being in business? Right? This is a big project. And at the same time, the first time you launch is going to feel like the biggest project with so many to dos, but most of the stuff you're creating is going to be repeatable for other launches. So this first time around is going to be the toughest. And you just need to give yourself plenty of time and space to do it and to do it right. So you might want to give yourself 90 days of planning or maybe 2 months of planning. I wouldn't do it less than 2 months of planning for your launch if you want it to be successful. So we've got the plan phase, and that's where you're strategizing the content and you're figuring out all the steps so that your leads can become buyers. And then you have your build phase. And the build phase, of course, is where you're building all of the pages and automations and writing copy and writing emails to communicate with those leads. And then you've got the launch it phase. And that's the fun part. That's when you get to show up and connect with your audience and share your valuable content. So the very first step when you're planning out your launch is determining your offer, really getting clarity around that and strategy around that. And the number one way we recommend for you to ensure that your audience actually wants your offer is to do market research. Now, we have a mini course where you can learn how to do market research interviews, and we still stand by that as being the absolute best way to discover what matters to your ideal audience and to create programs with pricing that matches the people that you've interviewed. However, I know those take a long time. And so there's kind of the quick and dirty way of doing market research as well, where you could go on to Amazon or YouTube and read comments from people and understand pain points and symptoms and things like that just by looking at titles and comments and other people's content. So from that market research, you're going to determine what the program is, what it should be called, how much it should be, and the exact transformation that you're promising. And that transformation should be delivered in a really short, succinct sentence that absolutely anybody can understand what you're doing, what you're offering, and who can benefit from it. So that is the milestone you're creating at the end of this step, is that your offer is on lockdown and you feel confident that it's the right offer for your people. The second step in planning out your launch is figuring out your funnel. Now, you're going to have multiple pieces of the funnel. You're going to have a lead magnet, you're going to have an event itself, and then you're going to have the post-event emails, sales emails, that kind of thing. And so I'll talk to you about each step of the way. What are the pieces that you need to build for that? You don't need any fancy software to funnel map. I just draw it on a piece of paper. I just draw a bunch of boxes and a bunch of arrows and just indicate what do I need to create, because once we have a map, it becomes our to-do list. Now, this is a hefty step because the to-do list gets long. And so the milestone here is I created a funnel map and I'm very clear where my people are going, how they're going to enter the funnel and where they're going. and B, that I'm going to get all of these pieces done. And almost all of this is the repeatable stuff, meaning you just flick a switch and launch again, and these pieces are done. The next step is to create your attractive lead magnet. Now, you want to make sure the lead magnet is leading the right people to your offer. And not only that, but the right people at the right time. So back in the day, one of the mistakes I made was my coach had encouraged me to use a lead magnet that I already had. And she asked, what was the most popular lead magnet you've had so far? And I said, oh, easy. It's how to overcome the 5 most common sales objections for high ticket offers. So we put that out there, and I collected a bunch of leads of people that were interested in learning how to overcome objections for their high ticket offer. The problem was at the end of my funnel, my offer, I was offering a program called Craft a 5K Offer That Sells. So I brought in a bunch of people who already had an offer, and I launched to them and made an offer for them to learn how to create an offer. So you can see that I brought in the right people. They were all coaches and course creators, and they were interested in learning about sales. They had the problem I solved, but not at the right time. So it's really important that you backwards map from your offer, which you've already created, and ask yourself, what is a problem I can help my audience overcome right now? And that's going to become my lead magnet. And it's going to create a gap between the lead magnet and my live event. What am I going to solve in the live event that's not solved in the lead magnet? And then from the live event to my offer, what am I going to solve with my offer that the live event can't solve? Being clear on those things helps inform your content and the marketing of each. So the lead magnet is a pretty exciting thing to create, and you don't have to wait until you're ready to launch. You just get that lead magnet out there ASAP so you can start collecting leads, right? So of course, to have a lead magnet, you need to write it, you need to make it pretty. I would turn it into a PDF, and you're going to have to do a landing page, a thank you page, and an email delivery sequence for people who opt in for your lead magnet. The next step is planning out the live event itself. So that is ultimately what people call a launch, but actually all of this is the launch, right? It's the long-term planning of a launch, but your live event is the launch itself. So you may be offering a webinar, you may be calling it a masterclass, you might do a 3-part video series, you might do a live launch where you're showing up live 5 days in a row, and you might be doing a 5-day challenge. So there's variety of ways that you can launch. There's no right or wrong way. It's the way you should launch is the way that feels most comfortable to you and that would most speak to your audience. But planning out that live event is the most important piece because you want to, again, establish the gap of where they are now and where they want to go and why your offer is the right solution. And so a lot of the content, a lot of times we think, oh, I've got to teach them something. But in reality, it's not teaching as much as it's showing them myths, mistakes, beliefs they're holding on to that are holding them back, and why you're the person that's the perfect match to get them to the solution that they are looking for. I also like to speak to symptoms that people have, understanding your audience and the symptoms that are showing them that you are the person who can help them, right? So symptoms become something tangible that they can raise their hand and say, oh my God, that's totally me. She gets me. Or it's like you made this offer for me, right? That is stuff you want to put in the content of your live event as well as the content leading up to the live event in your lead magnet, like getting people to see, yes, I get you, I understand you. And then as far as the build part of your live event, here's where you've got to figure out your sales page. You've got to do your event registration, thank you page, and an email sequence to welcome them to the event and let them know what to expect. All right, the next step is really planning for that final phase right before you launch. And so the things you need to do in this phase are write your sales emails. Now, a pro tip here is that I like to grab the copy from my sales page and paste it into my sales emails. Number one, it's a nice cohesive journey that your lead is going on by reading your emails and then going to your sales page and reading very similar language. And number two, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But it is why we highly recommend hiring a copywriter to write that sales page for you, because I guarantee you they're going to do a better job than you and I would do. And they're also going to do it in a quicker amount of time. So here's something that I would invest in, and getting that sales page built. That is not a simple page to build. It's going to take some investment as well. It might cost you $2,500 to get that created. But again, this is part of the repeatable process. And if you don't change your offer very much, then you don't need to update or do that sales page again. Right. So it's a one and done. During this phase, you're also going to be writing your launch promo emails. And so these are the emails that are getting people to attend the event. And the reason why I leave these until the end is because it's hard to write promotional emails for an event that hasn't been created yet. So now that you've worked on the content and you're clear of the title and all that you're going to do, it becomes much easier to write promotional emails related to the event that you've thought through and are prepared for. Okay, and the last phase is the most exciting one, and it is the launch it phase. So in this phase, you are just showing up, you're connecting with your audience, you're sending DMs, you're looking, if people are doing homework or talking to you, communicating you in the chat, all the things. You're following up with those people. You're thanking them for participating. You're letting them know, I see you, right? And you're going to deliver your offer, you deliver your pitch, and wait for the sales to roll in, because everything you've done up until this point is going to make sure that the offer you're putting out there is one that your audience wants to buy. So if you have any questions about launching or getting started or how to sell your offer, even how to create your offer, and or how to build these pages, or who can you hire to build these pages for you, the Launch Squad is here to help you. Go ahead and just send me a DM. Let's book a call and just find out what your needs are, and I'll let you know if I think we can help you. All right, have a great day, everyone. See you next time.